Okay, so we're turning off the lights. This morning I was like, oh, I gotta do something with my hair because I was tempted to put something on my face too because I was like, whew, YouTube got me last week. Well, last week, I mean on Tuesday. Excuse me, milkshake. Whew, your girl was looking rough. Milkshake, why do you... People with cats, why do they just sit and don't move underneath your feet? I'm like, y'all, dear kittens, I'm heavy. Please move. Okay. So today we are sewing the Aurora Playsuit, which I'm very, very excited about, y'all, because this was named after and designed for my middle child, whose name is obviously Aurora. Good morning, Brittany. So, very excited to be sewing this live with you all, especially because, listen, this is a super easy pattern. Very, very easy. Also, I did charge my mic. Y'all, this is kids, okay? Kids. I charged my mic so that way we would be able to use it without issue. I've kept this mic together. We've been able to use it. I've been able to record with it and everything for months without issue. My son comes in here and touches this thing one time, and now it's missing pieces. And how am I supposed to clip this on me? I swear, every day I'd be like, my kids are free to go home. People are like, what do you mean? I'm trying to tell you, kids will destroy everything. They will. So let's go ahead and pop my case off. I'm trying to look around at the same time and see if maybe he was playing with it in here. Found it. And took the clip off, which he did. Okay. Okay, so we should be able to hear me now. I'm trying to tell you, I think I need glasses too. Your girl will be over here struggling to see. Okay. All right. There we go. I feel like this should definitely turn. Because how else am I supposed to make sure this is clipped on the right way? You know, so that y'all can hear me. Maybe I'll clip it on the other way. I guess maybe I'll turn it on the inside and clip it like this. Okay, either way, good morning and welcome to my channel, okay? I realized yesterday that I did not invite anybody to subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Good morning, okay? Whew. So, again, I designed this pattern and named it after my daughter, my middle child, because girlfriend loves a jumpsuit. And you know what's funny is that one of the first patterns that I ever pattern tested was the Leah from Made for Mermaids. And this is, of course, why I designed for them, because they essentially saw me at my bottom, right? They saw me where I started from. Good morning, Catrice. Good morning, Dejanay. So they've seen me at my worst, and they love me at my best. Okay. But when I tried to put her in this romper, y'all, I promise you, my daughter was like, "There's absolutely no way I'm wearing that," and she would not wear the romper. So cut to a couple years later, now literally this summer. So I bought her some Old Navy rompers, super cute. They were on sale for $8. We occasionally buy clothes, yes. So I bought it for her for $8, and I was like, this is a steal. Fantastic price, right? I was like, this is excellent. Friends, it was not excellent for your niece, okay? And why wasn't it excellent? No. So here's the thing. So the next pattern that I wanted to do was going to be a polo, except I'm really trying to get Julian to draft and create this polo. Why? Because polos really align with Julian's style and his aesthetic, and he has already designed a polo. And so I was going to design a polo for Made for Mermaids and call it the Bow Polo. Um, but alas, I do not think that that is going to be what I do. Because again, your girl is trying to get Julian to do it. So the next one that I do is going to be another women's pattern or adult pattern. Well, I might make it into children's as well, but it's going to be geared towards more feminine presenting people. Okay, so let's get this pulled up. I thought that I'd already had it pulled up, and I thought that I had my life together, so my apologies for those who are catching this on the flip side and are like, this girl ain't ever ready. It's facts. I'm not. I don't know what else to say. This one, y'all, we're going to go through this so fast, though, because literally this is super, super fast. So now, for my body, I'm going to show you all what the pattern looks like. Again, up here. So all I'm doing right now is I'm just taking off the sizes that I don't need. And I grade from yellow on out to red as far as my sizing goes. So basically I'm like a little sunset. That's what my size is. We're going to go ahead and rotate this clockwise. And so for today, I do think that, so I have not made any of the strapped versions in a really long time. So I'm going to make a strapped version for myself. Again, because I literally haven't made it. But I was also thinking about some more hacks. Now, listen, we already have some hacks. Oh, gosh. I hate it when my kids are at my desk. Oh, my goodness. Pretty sure that one of them had something sticky that is now on my wrist. I know, and it's like, Aaronica, why don't you just tell them that they can't go into your office? Y'all, kids will do whatever they want to do. Okay, especially because we don't hit them. So, all right, we're going to get ready to get started. Is my software open? It's not. Where is my remote? Got it. But we do have to pick out fabric because I did not do that. So there are already some really nice hacks that have happened. One of the hacks that I am going to do, and there was a write-up for this. I probably will not be doing it the same way that the write-up is done. But the pants that are drafted here, I love them so much. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to hack this to be a, I think I'm going to hack it to make a pin tuck pant. Right. Saying don't do it is exactly like saying. By the way, I would love it if you, right? Because that is definitely kid speak. They sound like she's trying to hang out with her nieces and nephew. I swear every morning I wake up, yes, give glory to God that I made it to see another day. Also, though, your girl be over here on the struggle bus, okay? Full screen mode. Another dress that I think that we might do, which is not planned for, is going to be the, I think we also might decide to do the, there's a new Patterns for Pirates dress that's coming out, and it's got the side ruching. It's a fantastic pattern. I did do a hack for that, which I have to write up today for her. And my hack is to turn it into a strapless dress. So just in case you're wondering if I'm on this strapless kick, the answer is for sure yes. Yeah, because I was definitely like, who is Brittany Cassels? All right, so we've got this pulled up. We are going to have to move our projector simply because this jumpsuit, because it is so long and it is one piece, um, we're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to make it a little bit. We're gonna have to do some adjusting, which is cool. So let's go ahead and pick out some fabric now. When I tell you I cannot wait for coffee today. Yesterday I did go to, okay, so when I say, I want y'all to know that when I say I went to the store, what I mean is I ordered groceries. Just so that we're like on one accord with what it means when I say I went to the store. I don't want you guys to actually think that I went to the store to this time anyway. Because listen, these grocery prices, are disrespectful, and these kids eat as though they are paid to do so. And the fact of the matter is that they are not paid to eat. Yesterday we came home, and so my son, he doesn't have lunch until he has lunch at 10 o'clock in the morning. Now, many of you have seen my son. Lunch at 10 o'clock in the morning is not going to work for my babe. Because by noon, he's going to be like, so, about actual lunch, because I appreciated my breakfast break, and now I need, like, lunch. So, back to school with that has been a little bit of a challenge. So, after today's so long, oh, you know what I wanted to do? I've been saving this to do this on one of my lives. So, Tanisha, aka Yes, I Made It, she came out. Oops, cancel. I didn't mean to do that. She came out with a. There we go. Now we know who you are. She came out with some. What did she come out with? Tags for clothing. So I ordered them because what do? We support, right? So what I ordered was, and she sent me like, look, she wrote me a note. So let's read the note, right? Thank you so much for this order, Bestie. I have included an extra set of each design so I can do a giveaway. So should we do a giveaway, friends? I think we should do a giveaway. So I ordered the Woo Chile. Now, this is really funny for me because when the saying first, or rather when the reel or whatever, the Vine first came out, this became something that I started to say. So this is the tag, and it says, Woo Chile, this took forever to make. But if you know the origin, it is super funny because, like, you know, of course we say Woo Chow, but when it was spelled out, it was spelled out Chile. And someone of the persuasion was like, ooh, Chile. And they were like, what? And they were like, ooh, Chile. And they were like, no, it's a who child. But because it was so funny to me, I was like, who Chile? Anyway, so this is from my girl Yimmy, aka Tanisha. Make sure that you go and support her. She's one of the bag specialists from, and I'll make sure that I drop her links in the caption. She is also like one of the bag specialists from Black Sewing Network. So kudos to her because she did that. When she came out with that, I promise you, I was like, ooh, get in my cart. I could not get it in my cart fast enough. Okay, so back to what we're doing. Let's see what fabrics we have out here. Oh, God. I have a lot of black fabric out here. But I think we're going to do today's in this. So this is like a copper peach performance. For those that don't know what peach performance is, it is a fantastic, kind of like an athletic knit. You don't only have to use it for performance, like, or fitness or athletic attire, because obviously we're going to use it for today. You can get this from Amanda's Bundles. Based off of how much I've got here, hold on. Hold please. Okay, we're back. Based off of this cut of fabric, friends, I don't know if this is going to work. I think I'm going to save this for the ruched dress. Why? Because I have, when Amanda sent me this fabric, I had a design scheme in mind, and I was like, oh, I specifically wanted to use this color fabric for it. So ultimately I wanted to make like a bodycon dress. And then she had sent me a matching, or like a coordinating, like double knit to go with it, which I want to use on this next pattern that I'm drafting. So we're not going to use that, but we are still going to stick with our peach performance. And I keep saying that I'm going to match Dijonay. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make one that matches Dijonay. So I've got my gray fabric here, also peach performance. So the same thing goes. But I have a lot more of this. So let's get ready to cut. As you can see, a whole lot more. So, again, and I think I said this on a TikTok live, but one of the questions that I was asked about projector sewing is how I handle grain line. I always line my grain line up before I get started sewing. Regardless, doesn't matter if I'm cutting on a projector or not. I'm always going to check for my grain line before I put my fabric down to be cut. So I highly recommend that for anybody else who is out there sewing. Because honestly, it doesn't matter. Or maybe we should do I'm joking. I'm not going to do no color block. JK, JK, JK. All right. So let's get you all set up properly. I'm coming over this weekend. Come on, girl. Come on. Oh, wait. No, not this weekend. I'm going to be out of town. Come over next weekend and we could take pictures. Girl, I might pull up to your job and be like, hey, girl, you ready to take pictures now? All right, so let's go ahead, get you all propped up nicely. Let's make sure that we remember to turn the camera. For those that have only watched me on YouTube, there was an incident on the TikTok where I may or may not have accidentally, it's telling me that my orientation is locked. Rotate the device back. It is rotated. Okay. So, oh, Dijonay, I did not mean to delete the message. I'm sorry. It was time. Dijonay made it was timed out. So Yimmy, not like, we'll just add it as, we're gonna add you just as a moderator, so maybe it'll be like she doesn't actually hate Dijonay. So my apologies for that. My fingers are still like getting used to these buttons over here. Sorry about that. Gosh, I feel so bad. All right, so now that we can see what we're doing, I do think that YouTube has kind of made these buttons a little sensitive over here. JK YouTube, don't persecute me, okay? So let's just go ahead. I think I could just leave you over here and cut. So this is not my permanent morning spot, but because I am looking to grow my YouTube channel. So again, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. I would love you even more than I do right now. But I wanted to, as I'm making my comeback for morning sews, spread the wealth. Okay. Plus, it's also a lot easier to take these live videos and just immediately post them to YouTube, which I've been working to create content for and have not had very much success because I tend to overthink these videos here. Okay, so we're set up for a good cut. I'm just trying to move my fabric over because, again, your girl is a glutton for punishment. No, I'm just joking. But I really do try to preserve as much fabric as I possibly can with how I cut. So just doing that. I need to change my blades in my rotary cutter because I've been doing a lot of cutting. So now for this here pattern, because my upper body is a little bit longer, but not long enough for me to necessarily have to add too much more, like as far as length goes. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting at the length of the red, and I'm just going to be cutting at the width of the yellow, if that makes sense, on the inside. And the reason why, again, is because I do want to make sure that I don't have camel toe, right? Because that's honestly not my jam. Love that for whoever loves that for them. For me, though, camel toe is just not a good look, you know? So again, we're going to be making the pants. I'm going to need to move this pattern up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip it off at this 4.5 inches. There we go. And so now I'm going to just go ahead and move it up. And I don't know, maybe we're not going to do the whole thing. I also don't have a cropped set either. Okay, then I'm going to pull it back down from the bottom side because we lined it up with 4.5 inches, not with 4. Or rather, not with 3. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Looks like we're lined up good. And so I am going to just line it up with this 29.5 inch inseam. It's funny, I was talking with my husband and we were talking about how like people's heights, namely mine, throws people off so much, right? So I was telling him, I was like, I feel like it's kind of rude how like short I am compared to everybody else. And the funny thing is that I'm not really short. I'm like your average height for women, right? But like, I don't know, man. Like, I expect myself to be a little bit taller. I have tall energy, I suppose, right? But your girl is not tall. And the fact that everyone else is so tall is really like, I don't want to say it's rude, but it's like a little rude, you know? I really be over here thinking I'm taller than I am. Okay, so we're just going to move this up and we're going to say a prayer that we have enough. Yes, Brittany, we know that you are bite size. I'm not quite as small as you, though. Like, I knew that Brittany was vertically challenged before we like met in person. But seeing her in person, I want to be like, "Oh, hi." But that would have been so rude to have done that to her, so I didn't. I actually might end up wearing this. So I'm headed to Buffalo this weekend. For those that don't know, I am a brand ambassador for a company called Ergo Baby. I am not a certified baby wearing expert. I am a highly trained baby wearing person. Let me actually trim this down. Like baby wearing definitely saved my life for kids, having kids and everything like that. I know that Brittany was big into baby wearing as well. I did wraps. I did soft carriers. I did not do any woven wraps. Although on occasion, if a baby, because my husband and I are baby whisperers. And if we could not get a baby to sleep, by we, I mean typically me, I would just pick up a, like a house sheet and strap the baby on my back or to my front, especially if I did not have a carrier on me. And I would strap that baby right on me and be like, come on, baby. Like, we calm now. Like, cut it out. Baby goes to sleep. My fabric is, I'm struggling to get this fabric lined up. Y'all say a prayer that there's really enough fabric for me to cut this out of, okay? But yeah, so I'm in Buffalo this weekend for, let's see, okay. Based off of my height, there should be enough. But, so I'm in Buffalo this weekend, and I'm doing a baby wearing show, or rather, I'm doing a pregnancy show, expo, and I will be, doing the demos and stuff like that for the carriers. Very, very exciting. I love talking to people about baby wearing because it was something that was so crucial for me. All right, again, we're starting out as far as length goes. Our length is lined up with the red. I am going to put in a clip here to mark for where our straps are going to meet. Oops. Completely forgot about that already. Okay. Now I am going to cut my shelf bra. I'm going to be cutting my shelf bra on the fold if I can make it fit, honestly. I know that it's not drafted for on the fold. I'm just going to simply scooch it over just a little bit. And in essence, hope for the best is all I'm going to do. I did not line up I didn't put my clips in, but that's okay because I'm just going to line it up with my crotch curve since it's still on here. Look at this. Look at this. We made it. Barely, but we made it. Like literally I have like maybe an inch of fabric left. Maybe 2 inches of fabric left down here at the bottom. Like I need to move this up some more. Whew. Just moving that up. Just a tiny scooch. Okay. Okay, so I really need to go ahead and change out this. Gotta change this out. My goodness. Golly. Okay, so we've got our back piece. Now let's go ahead and cut out our shelf bra pieces. And then you already know what time it is. We got to cut out our shelf bra and our, we're not going to do pockets today because I already have like 20 of them with pockets. Although maybe we will do pockets because I'm like, what are people doing without pockets? Okay. So I'm just going to take one of my scrap pieces. We're going to just hope and pray that we can fit this. Okay. All right, here we go. And so this is where I would be lined up if I wanted to cut it on like 2 mirror images. I'm going to move it over just ever so slightly. So that way I take away the seam allowance. So that way I can just simply cut this on the fold. Okay. And so I know how much this is because I've got the measuring squares on my cutting mat. If you're like, I want to do that too for mine, and you don't have the squares, which you probably should have anyway, just go ahead and pull out your handy dandy ruler and that should give you what you need. Okay, so let's line this up too. And eliminating that center seam on the shelf bra, the only thing that it does is it can make your seam a little less bulky in the center, and it can also take about 20 seconds away from your sewing. It doesn't make that much of a difference, but okay, so let's go ahead. Now with this pattern here, if you are doing the strapped version, I will say that like if you have a heavier bust, then what might work best for you is making sure that you also cut out some elastic to help support your boobs, right? To help support the heaviness of your breasts. So because your girl has had a mastectomy and we're defying gravity in this moment, it's not something that I have cut out. However, if I had not had this surgery and we were just Auronica's normal boobs, I would have cut out the elastic, and you're just doing a 1-to-1 with your actual strap pieces. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to cut the straps. Sorry, you all's favorite kitten is over here distracting me. And so these are our straps. And again, if you're cutting out the elastic, just make sure that your elastic is this length. Okay. There we go. All right. So now we're done cutting. So y'all already know what time it is. It's coffee time. What time is it? It's coffee time. I'm very excited about coffee time this morning. Why? So yesterday I ordered from my grocery delivery. I got some new creamer. And friends, I got creamer that is Rice Krispie Treat creamer. Now, we already tried the Rice Krispie Treat creamer and we loved it. But I also got Snickers creamer. So, put my slippers on. Good morning, Milkshake. I see that you are up to no good. I see that she's up to no good. So, let's go ahead and get ready to rumble. Also, My husband left literally everything out in the kitchen because he made breakfast. I mean, not breakfast, but he did lunches this morning. Apparently there was a spill in here. So I'm going to put my coffee on. And then I'm going to see if there were questions or comments as our water boils. And then we'll make our coffee. Then we'll get ready to rumble. There we go. We're also going to have to clean up this kitchen a little bit. Because, Chile. Why is the kitchen so messy? My husband is literally the best. And I know I'm not even in front talking to you guys. But if he asks me to do anything, I will happily do it for him. I don't know how these kids' stomachs are set up, though. Because I swear, we feed them. But based off of these hunger levels, I don't understand what... Oh, I think that he must have given them apples that had some kind of honey. Now we're missing the top to the... Oh, here it is. I was like, y'all, we're missing the top to the mayonnaise. What is life? Okay, I think we got all the perishables put away. Okay, all right. I'm back. So, good morning, Tony. Good morning, Kay. Oh, yes, I will. I agree with that, DJ. I do think that Brittany and Tyjeri have they have tall people energy. Tamara, you do need to get your projector set up. Good morning, Vivi. Good morning, Key. Yes, Britt. Ergo Brain Ambassador. Yeah, I do. Sometimes I miss baby wearing as well. For the most part, though, your girl doesn't miss the babies being babies at all. JK, I really do, actually, because not that they are not sweet youth, but these babies, as babies, oh, they were so delicious. Bo was quite literally the cutest and most smiley baby. So was Aurora. Again, pour over coffee. We're going to be using a little bit of Starbucks this morning. Only because, so yesterday, I finally found my coffee grinder. Y'all, it is missing the plug, though. How am I supposed to make it work? So, can we talk about this whole Lizzo situation while we're waiting for our coffee? We'll do coffee and tea. This, little dress situation is one of Lizzo's. Maybe I'll just put this mic here. There we go, right there in the middle. So this is one of the Yiddy dresses, and I love it. And I'm a brand ambassador for Fabletics, so obviously, I kind of somewhat support her. But I did read, or rather listen to some of the things that she said. Not necessarily that people are kind of making up in the aftermath, right? And I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. I'm not sure if she was talking about this young girl's weight because she thought that maybe something was going on, right? Maybe she was feeling depressed, maybe you know what I'm saying? And in the court documents, it alludes to her sharing that she was going through a depressive episode and that she wasn't feeling mentally the best and stuff like that. So I'm like, was it that? I don't know. Have you all tuned into the Lizzo drama? Again, as we wait for our coffee. I added chapters to Tuesdays so that people could avoid coffee chat if that was not their jam. Let's go for a super huge cup of coffee. It is a mess. I don't know how to feel either. Okay, so today we're going to go for the Snickers one. Why? Because we already know what the other one tastes like. So, it's giving. All right, so let's pour one out for the homies that can't be with us, aka let our coffee bloom for a couple of seconds. Now, I bet you guys didn't think that when we got in here, you would become experts in coffee. I'm not, for sure. JK. So I do think it's a mess. I'm not following it very closely, but I was thinking about it this morning as I put on my Yitty dress. Because I'm like, do I say it's from Yitty? Or will I get canceled? You know? I feel like we do a lot of persecuting before the facts come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, yes, innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, but in society, we really function as though you are guilty until proven innocent. And that's a little scary, honestly. Okay, so our coffee is just about done. I see we didn't have too much tea about the Lizzo situation, unless the chat is on a lag, which is possible. A nice big cup of coffee with this Snickers creamer. I think that, whatchamacallit will always be my favorite creamer. I'm just waiting for all the facts to drop. Keep me posted, Britt. Okay. Let's take a taste. That's banging. So, if you're wondering if the Snickers creamer is good enough for you, it is, okay? All right, friends, let's get ready to sew. Because this is a knit, we're just going to be using Bernadette, aka my serger. I see here that my husband stuck a box underneath my desk. Doesn't make me feel too happy. Whatever, though. Again, he can do whatever he wants to. So, I just got a new ring that has our names on it. And he was like, I like your ring. And I was like, thanks. Oops. Okay, so since we're doing gray, I feel like we'll just go back to white because, oh God. Okay. Just going to go back to white thread. I haven't sewn since we sewed together. Good morning, Mina. And right now our serger is set up to do the overlock as well as the chain stitch at the same time. So we're going to convert the machine back to being serger only because that's what we need for this here project. And I will show you all how, she says she needs to be oiled. So we're going to have to give her a little bit of oil because we don't disrespect her. Let's go ahead and cut all of these strands. I will say that pulling out the threads from like when I have it set up in this module, it's a little bit harder. A little bit harder. Okay. These were all of my pre-threaded strands. I am going to go ahead and just wipe her down very quickly because, ooh, we are so messy. Okay. So let's pop some oil in here. Have you all oiled your machines recently or cleaned them? One of the things that I think that should be talked about more is kind of like why we oil our machines, right? And even in that, where we're oiling, right? Because you don't have to oil, like if you have a lot of plastic, like you're not oiling plastic. And you should only be using just ever so slight amounts of oil. Oh, I love that for you, Key. Here's the thing though, like if you end up using too much oil, it can actually cause your machine to seize up because it'll be like, you put too much oil in me and now I am getting thick, right? Because we know what happens with oil sometimes. Sometimes it gets thicker and, you know, it's just not a good look. Everything doesn't look good thick, okay? It's just me. No, I'm just joking. But that's something to keep in mind as you're oiling your machines. You don't want to over oil because that can be tragic for your machine as well. So something to just point out, because one thing that we're always going to do is we're always going to be learning. The last time that I oiled my machine was the last time I did a reel about it. Last time I oiled my machine. So it's been some time. I clean mine but never oiled them. I'll take them. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea too. Depending upon what kind of machine you have, you may not need to oil in between. Bernina's will tell you if you need oil though, which I really appreciate because Bernina machines are better than having plants, right? They will let you know in a second what they need you to do, which I, again, greatly appreciate because your girl will forget. So let's see. What do I love about sewing? I'm a creative. Like, I'm just a creative person. So I really love that sewing has allowed me to create something that is functional, right? So not that I don't love the kind of art that you put up in a gallery or in your bedroom or on walls. I love that. I'm a person who's driven by being functional. I like that sewing allows me to be creative and, you know, be an artist while also making sure that I'm doing something that is contributing to my household and that is a need, right? Like, I like that it allows me to function in both of those spaces because, like, I make my kids their uniforms, you know, I do all of those things. And that's very helpful. Like, it makes it so that it's cheaper, or it makes it so that they feel good in their clothing. I also like it because after I had my second child, I just could not lose the baby weight, and I felt really bad about it. I did not feel beautiful. I felt, because of course, at the time, the narrative that was being spread was that you needed to lose all of your baby weight if you wanted to keep your husband. And y'all, I love my husband, so I want to keep my husband, you know. The whole snapback culture is a thing, right? Like, being able to fit into your pre-pregnancy clothes, and I couldn't. So being able to sew my clothes was really empowering for me, because now I could make things that actually legit fit me, that were one of a kind, and not only fit my body, but also fit my style, fit my personality. Because before, now we have a lot more terms for these things like sensory processing disorders and stuff like that. I don't particularly like certain clothing to fit. I don't like the way that things, like, if it's going to be fitted, I want it to feel like it's supporting me. And I don't always like the way that certain things feel on your skin. So I like that I get to find the fabrics that I like, and I get to, essentially rock the shit that I want to wear. I hope that's not bad that I just cursed YouTube. It's not made for kids. But honestly, I think that's a really good question for everyone to answer. So, what is that? I don't know what that beep was. So what is it that you guys like about sewing? Let's go ahead and we're going to switch views so that you all can kind of see what I'm doing at the same time. Again, this is not very glamorous, so I'm going to put y'all over here. That went very smoothly. Well done. Well done. So I'm going to toss my scraps. All right. So let's get ready to rumble. This here piece is, this is the under bust band. Because of my scars and stuff like that, I found that the under bust band with no elastic was something that felt really good for me. So I'm going to just put my right sides together, and we're showing the short ends. Because I'm not putting in elastic, I am going to just go ahead and sandwich it in. Let's see, it's therapeutic for me. I love wearing something that I made that it fits for me. Yes, I love that too. Those two things are. I'm like, let me see about logging in on my other phone so I can see y'all, because listen, I'm showing my age right now. I don't even have YouTube downloaded on this phone. For shame. Okay, so we'll just wait for that to download so that I can see. All right, so we have that one piece. And then we'll pull it out so that it is completely banded. So we're going to put that up over there. Now let's see. We're going to take our back piece, our back shelf bra piece, and we're going to do our front shelf bra piece as well. So ultimately what I'm doing is I'm in essence pre-prepping all of the things that need to kind of go together. The beautiful thing about this fabric is that it feels like there's no true right or wrong side. There is, but it doesn't matter for the insides. Like, I can see it. I don't know if everybody else would be able to see it. Okay. And so again, I did go ahead and eliminate my center seam. While I love having the center seam on the actual garment, the main fabric, and I don't actually mind it being on the shelf bra. Again, it eliminates like 20 seconds of sewing. So I'm going to take that. Okay, so we're opening up YouTube so I can see, because one thing about this is that because this white text is on, your girl can't see. Okay, so we've got that. This is our shelf bra. I'm going to go ahead and attach my banding to it. I'm going to just, I'm actually going to remove this tabletop area because I don't need it right now, but I'm not going to put it away because I am going to need it. So I'm going to take the center and I'm going to put it in the middle of my back piece. And then I'm just going to sew around that circle. Okay, let's see. Allow, that's fine. Sign in with Google. I don't want to use my daughter's. Oh my goodness. Okay. And I'm like, let me sign in. Yeah, once you connect, I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like all of the notifications that I once missed are now showing up. Okay, logging in live. Okay. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Okay, let's turn the volume down. Do I prefer woven or stretch? I like them both, honestly. I feel like I do feel like they both offer something different, right? Like if I want something that is a little bit more casual, then, you know, I think that knits are great. I also feel like knits are more versatile, right? So I was sharing with my friend Julian yesterday that when I was pregnant, I didn't use maternity patterns, right? Because I sewed with knit clothing. I mean, knit fabrics. So everything that I was wearing when I was pre-pregnant, I could wear when I was pregnant. In fact, you know, I was telling him, I was like, I think that, you know, as a pattern designer, I probably would not design something that is for maternity. Why? And I know that I miss a whole demographic, but the reason why is because we don't wear pregnancy clothes or maternity clothing throughout our entire, you know, time frame of being pregnant, right? We typically only wear them for just a little bit of time. Now, I did buy pregnancy jeans because I felt like that was worth it. But like once you're done being pregnant, then what? You know? Like I have pictures of myself wearing a skirt, like a pencil skirt, while I was pregnant with my son, and also while I was not pregnant. Because knits will grow with you. Knits are so forgiving. Knits will be like, girl, I got your back. Don't worry, I'm here for you. Um, and not that wovens are not that way. So I've attached the band, and this is what my shelf bra is looking like. And so again, because I'm using a performance knit fabric, this is the Peach Performance fabric that's from Amanda's Bundles. It's going to be super supportive. I don't necessarily need it though, because listen, fake boobs defy gravity, right? So we're done with this piece entirely. So we're going to sit this off to the side. Next up is I'm going to go ahead and sew my straps together. Now, one of the things about straps that I hate, I lived in leggings 4 times exactly. One of the things that I hate doing is, yeah, I hate having to, binding is not my favorite, but also turning out fabrics is not my favorite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and get a little bit more lead thread from my serger. And I'm just going to, let me just make sure that I'm really just trying to decide what I want the right side to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to like put my strap, and I'm going to, in essence, put the string down the middle of it and close it up. So I don't know if y'all can see that. So I've sandwiched the string that I pulled out in between the right sides of my strap pieces. And so from here, I can actually pull that string down. And I'm going to keep a hand on that so that I can keep it close to the middle part, because I don't want to cut that off. So, and now if you're like someone who's like, listen, I know that there is a shelf bra in here, but your girl is going to need a bra, and you want to make your straps a little bit thicker to accommodate that, by all means do so. But I do think that the thickness of these straps will support bra straps as well, just in case. Now, if you are bustier and you're like, but I don't want to wear a bra, how do I make it more supportive? Just make sure that you're lining, or you're doing your shelf bra fabric in something that will give you that support. So you want to do your shelf bra and say like a power mesh or something along those lines that's going to like legit hold you up, okay? So now that we have that string, it's so much easier to turn this here strap out. Now, if you were on Tuesday, listen, I was like struggling with my straps. And I'm still struggling a little bit, just not nearly as much, right? The point is to do what we can to make things a little bit easier. And so we did go ahead and turn that out. And so now this is what that strap is looking like. So I'm going to put that to the side, get my lead off to make it easier to turn. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for this strap as well. Now, if you are also using elastic for extra support, one of the other things that you can do is actually just go ahead and sew the elastic into the seam. That will also provide you an extra layer of support in that bust area. And by doing that, you can probably eliminate the need for a bra. That really does depend upon your comfort level too. One of my, healing from this mastectomy, it has not been that hard. But one of the things that I have been looking forward to, and that like has gotten me through some of the more challenging moments, right? Bras are now purely optional for me, right? And not saying I don't love a good pretty bra, not saying I don't love a little like, razzle dazzle in my lingerie collection. But like, I have always hated underwire. I have always just not loved how that felt. And so now I just have that choice. But for my busty buddies, you still have choices too, okay? So elastic will support you. Just remember that. Okay? Oh, good, Tamara. So now when I put my straps on, I am going to make it so that this is the side that faces up, and so that this is the side that faces down. I don't think it makes a difference. I just like how that feels personally. All right, so let's get ready to do our main pieces now. So up first, we've got, it looks like, we've got the back piece. Now, again, we do have our clip that is letting us know where we're supposed to put our straps at. I'm going to go ahead and just add another clip. So that way we've got one on the front and one on the back, reminding us of where our straps go. The reason why I'm doing that is because for the straps, I have like this darker side on the outside. So I want to do the same thing for my bodice pieces. So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of switch it out so that the right side that I want to be on the outside is going to be on the outside. So we're just going to go ahead and sew this straight together. And I am going to put this table back on because this is a large piece of fabric. Yeah, I'm so excited about this because I'm probably definitely going to be wearing this on the plane. Okay. Sherman, listen. A quiet house? Yes, baby. I always love it when my husband is home. But sometimes it is nice to just have no one here. He goes into the office 2 times a week. And yesterday he went in the office. Today he's in the office. Yesterday I was out in these streets and I was mad about it because I was like, dang, I'm missing like my quiet time at home. But also because I really want to work on this next pattern that I want to drop. Um, Mainly because so I create patterns for the things that I want to wear, or the things that like my kids want to wear. So one of the reasons why I'm looking to hack this into kind of like, I'm going to hack the pants because I love the way that the pants are fitting. I'm going to hack the pants into being a, just like a little pant situation, you know? We're going to just have, I'm not even going to add a waistband. I'm just going to add elastic and fold it down. And you know what I mean? That's Snickers. So tasty, y'all. All right, so this is the front piece. And again, we're switching things around so that the darker side is on the outside. But what was I saying? A quiet house. Ooh. I will say that I do scare a little bit on the easy side, y'all, because like my cat just moved something and I was like, whoo, scary. Definitely was a jump scare moment. Milkshake, cut it out. Or who was that? Yeah, it was Milkshake. Girl, I knew it was you. But yeah, so I'm gonna hack this into some pants, and it's gonna be so perfect because I have loved the pin tuck sweatpant look. And because you all's niece is like, Mommy, can I go shopping for Christmas? And I'm like, shopping for what? And she's like, I just want some sweatpants and like some tank tops and stuff like that. So I guess that is her way of saying, like, I just don't have enough of those things, which she doesn't. But also, like, I don't know. I don't know why I have not taken the time out to, like, make them their things yet. So, even though we have a sewing schedule for next week, we might need to add some things on as well. All right, so we've got, here is our front bodice. Now we're going to take our right sides together for our main pieces. So we've got this top area here. We're going to go ahead and just right sides together. We're going to sew down each of these seams. Now, if you added the pockets in, that's fine. Just make sure that you add your pockets in first before you go down the side seam. Why am I not adding pockets today? I don't feel like it. That's it. And watch this become my favorite jumpsuit, and I kick myself for not adding pockets. But that's okay. I'll deal with it when we get there. Now, if you're someone who does get easily overwhelmed by the amount of fabric, you are not alone. I can get a little overwhelmed by the amount of fabric that's up here as well. As you're sewing with knits, though, make sure that you don't pull, that you are not pulling anything. There literally should not be any pulling happening unless it's to just straighten out your fabric. The reason why you don't want to pull, and unless of course you want this ruching effect, definitely make sure that you are not pulling. Angela says it relaxes me. I feel that, girl. What's that little meme that goes on around? I sew because I can't afford therapy. Relatable. I love to make things. It just does something to me. Like the feeling that you get at completion. It's just so good, you know? Okay, so we've got one side seam done. Let's flip it over. I'm going to do the other side seam before I do the center, the crotch seam. I meant to pull up a playlist that was YouTube friendly. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm using my serger, just to kind of make sure that my edges are lined up properly, is I will hold each of my fabrics in separate hands so that I can maneuver them. And to make sure that they are hitting the right area. I'm not sure if everyone does that because I don't clip or pin into place as I sew. So for me, I feel like that is like the thing that I do that helps with that. But my kids love this pattern, which I feel like is always a win. Because, you know, kids don't lie. Well, I mean, they do lie, but where do I get my inspiration from? Sometimes it's just in my head, right? Sometimes I'm inspired by the things that my kids want to wear. So, for example, like I was telling you that my oldest is interested in more sweats and more like, I don't want to say casual, but like more sporty attire, right? So my next pattern that I plan to design for Made for Mermaids is it's going to be like a crew neck sweatshirt, but it's going to have exaggerated sleeves. It's going to be giving some extra stuff. Because like I'm sporty spice all the way, but I also want to add a little bit of flavor to it. So I'm inspired because, you know, she's interested in wearing more sports attire. Just like this romper is because my daughter wanted to wear rompers. And because the rompers that we found didn't fit her body right. So it was like, okay, well, let me just go ahead and make something for you. You know, let me design a pattern and then make it so that it fits your body. You know, because she's got the big booty. She has a smaller upper body. And I hate how she has to make the adjustments where she's like constantly pulling and stuff like that, right? I don't want her to feel like she always has to do that. So during cutting this pattern out, I think that I cut 29.5 inches off of one leg or the front and then 32 off of the back. So my legs are not matching up, which is fine. We're going to make that correction. But I don't want you all to see like, I don't want y'all to see the leg and be like, girl, did you know that your leg was longer? I did. It's because I wasn't paying attention. It's fine. So to make sure that I accommodate that, and I still get my crotch seams lined up perfectly. I'm going to start at the crotch seam where I'm going to clip that together. And then for the leg that I'm going to start sewing down, I'm just going to line it up until I get down to the bottom of the shortest leg. And that's where I'm going to start sewing. And then that will line up properly. And this is the other reason why you don't want to stretch your fabric as you go. Because if I had forgotten that I had just simply kind of fumbled that bag, right? And I would have stretched it. Yeah, I would have been stretching like 3 inches in order to make it fit. And then my leg would have been off, right? My leg would have looked off. So don't stretch. If you're wondering if something is lined up properly, just simply let it line up on its own and then go back and measure. Because you can always take it out and you can always correct it. But listen, that's like that side scrunch. Again, it's going to give you a ruched look, which looks cute if that's the intended look. Otherwise, it'll just make you feel awkward. I also like to draw inspiration, of course, from what I see on the streets, or like if I'm out traveling and I particularly like something, like the Made for Mermaids team went to New Orleans last year for our like company trip. And I was just out there like looking at what people were wearing and, you know, seeing what it looked like on different bodies and stuff like that. So I'm always inspired by what I see. Like generally speaking, outside. Pinterest, of course. Pinterest is bae. And then, of course, there's really just the desire for what things that I want in my closet, right? Like this summer, because I wasn't sewing early in the summer, I just didn't really have the tank tops that I wanted to wear, stuff like that. So when I was designing this pattern, I had already like self-drafted some like tube tops and stuff like that for me to wear because I love to show off my collarbone, my shoulders and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I really feel like we should have that, you know? Come on, April, with all this. Yes, I love that. So after I made the Tate jumpsuit on Tuesday, and I posted a picture of it on Facebook again, I originally I wasn't going to do pre-orders. So before the pandemic hit, I used to do pre-orders. Why pre-orders? Because y'all, I'm not about to be buying all this fabric, making all these things without the guarantee that somebody is going to buy it, right? Been there, done that before. So I dropped this into my pre-order group and already have 2 pre-orders for the Tate that we made on Tuesday. Okay, so at this point in time, we have done the crotch seam. We have done both of the side seams. So now what we're going to do is finish it up. Literally, we're done. So with your straps, we're going to take our straps again. This is the right side. This is the wrong side. I'm going to be making sure that as I clip this in, I'm clipping it right sides together. So right side together in here. Grabbing my other one, putting the right side together there too. Oh gosh, I need to vacuum in here. So I'm gonna do this other right side together. And then we're gonna just clip that in place just to make sure it doesn't go anyplace. Now, this step It's something that I have definitely gotten lazy on, and I've seen the non-fruits of doing that. Make sure that your strap is straight when you clip it into this back one. You don't want it turned. It's not a good look, friends, okay? I've had it happen and then been like, damn, why wasn't I more careful? Okay? Don't be like me. Do not be like me. Now we're going to just go ahead. Now, at this point in time, if you want to, you can absolutely baste your straps into place. Y'all know I'm not here for extra steps, so I'm not going to. So I'm just going to clip this into place as well. Again, right sides together, making sure that this is smoothed out. Then I'm going to go ahead and put in our shelf bra. Again, right sides together. Now, if you're like, Aaronica, how do I know which side is the right side? It really depends upon what you want against your skin. I personally want this part against my skin. I do not want this part against my skin. So for me, I'm going to, when I flip this out, it's going to be flipped out like this. So again, spatially, I have to do it in order for it to make sense for me, because ultimately when I put it on, I want it to be put on exactly like this. So, yay, D. April, it's a word. People will play with your coins. And here's the thing, right? Let me take a sip of coffee before we do a quick story time. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all that this Snickers makes a difference, okay? So, when I first made the tape, again, posted a picture of it and everybody was going crazy. It was like, oh my God, I love it so much, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, cool, 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 cool. Love that you love this. Great, right? Because generally speaking, your girl does not sew for other people. Why? Because other people, generally speaking, again, do not value. And what I'm doing is I'm just clipping my my shelf bra on top. Generally speaking, people just do not know how to appreciate things that are made by hand. Insert Exhibit A. So last week, I was like, there was a lot of interest in people wanting me to make this for them. Just full disclosure, if I were to make this for you, it would cost $200, which I honestly feel like is a steal because it costs 5 yards of fabric, right? That's a lot of fabric, okay? On top of the fact that I'm making it in my little sewing studio. Literally, I have the smallest room in the house that is my sewing space. And I hand cut everything, right? Someone was like, I love this jumpsuit, but honestly, $200 is just too much money for it. And so here's something that I struggle with, y'all. One of the things that I really, really struggle with, especially as being a Black woman who is self-trained in everything that they do, right? I've been sewing since I was 13 now. I was discouraged, right? And I was like, yeah, I promise you. In my head, I was like, fuck it. Then that's it. That's the only answer that matters. Meanwhile, there were other people who were like, yes, that sounds like a really great price. I would absolutely pay that. But the only thing that I saw was the negative response, right? And again, it's also not negative. It's really just her sharing her opinion about what she would pay for, right? And I am a business coach, so I already know that she's just not in my target audience. That's not who I'm meant to sew for. So I took a deep breath yesterday and I was like, I took a deep breath, not yesterday, the day before yesterday. And I was like, you know what? No, I will still go ahead and offer this because there were so many people who were like, I would absolutely pay that. I feel like that's a steal. Like, yes, please. Where do I purchase? So I did go ahead and I opened up the pre-order. And I was really proud of myself because that is not something that is easy for me. You know what I mean? Especially because, you know, like April said, people really just do not appreciate. So now for this corner, because I do want my corner sharp, I'm going to sew off, lift up, again, making sure that this is in place. I'm going to make sure that I sew straight. I sewed it off, and then I'm going to come back and do the rest of this neckline. Why? Because I want that area around my strap to be very crispy, okay? But like April said, folks really want to play with your money, right? And they just don't appreciate what it is that we have to offer. And I guess I'm like, I don't know, y'all. I feel like that's like, it's like if you can't afford it, just say so, right? Like, and I know that's not what it was for her because I know that she could. She's a judge, whatever. But I say that to say that, one, not everybody is going to be your target audience. It's okay. Two, just because someone who's giving their feedback is not your target audience does not mean that you still should not pursue what it is that you think you want to do. Like, if you ultimately decide not to pursue it, let it be because of something that you decided against versus the way that someone made you feel like you should not be doing it. Because again, everyone is not your target audience, right? Your mom may not be your target audience, right? Your best friend may not be your target audience. That doesn't mean that what you're offering isn't amazing, isn't great, isn't needed. Just simply means that you got to redefine who your target audience is and market to them. Now, I will say that a lot of my friends on my friends list on Facebook are my target audience because a lot of them value having something that is like unique, you know, and they value high quality. But I also have the friends who are like, oh, I'm definitely about to just buy this off of Shein. Like, okay. You're just not my target audience. But we are finished, friends. We are finished. And your girl put in the shelf bra the exact opposite of how I wanted it. I am going to trim, excuse me, I'm going to trim down the pant. Then we're going to try it on. I am not going to be hemming these. I know. What a heathen. Why? Because with this particular fabric, if you stretch it, it's going to give you a little bit of rolling action that's going to be perfect. So I'm going to just go ahead and trim this down. I have already matched it up so it's lined up nicely. And literally I'm just cutting from seam to seam, cutting off the extra. Shortcuts no one will tell you about, whatever. So we've got that cut off. Now let's do our other leg. And then I'm going to do a little stretching action. So that way it'll curl up, which is exactly what I want it to do. Again, I feel like if I were doing not saying that this fabric isn't great because it is. Not saying that this fabric isn't high quality because it is. Not saying that this fabric isn't expensive because it is. What I am saying is that it's feeling more casual because it's a heathered gray. And I feel like doing the rolled action, yes, Peach Performance. I'll be posting all of the links and stuff like that when I post this to the YouTube. But like when you just stretch it, you see how that rolled up? So that's in essence the look that I'm going for. So I'm going to stretch it. You can do this also with like your cotton lycras or your jersey knits, and they will do this roll that kind of gives it this pseudo, oop, that's not the other pant leg, this pseudo hemmed look. So now that we've got this, I'm going to just go ahead and roll this up. There we go. Perfect. And now I'll try it on for y'all. So give me 1 second. No peeking. Also, I need to get my office together. I'm over here tripping over boxes and stuff. Okay. Whew. I'm watching myself on my camera, like on my other phone, just to make sure I'm completely off camera. Okay. Oh, this fabric feels so good. Oh, it's so soft. Okay. Oh, I'm so in love. So in love. Quite happy I didn't actually hem these pants because they're giving this flood length. Reattach my mic here. So happy I did not. Okay, so here we go. Let's move y'all over. Okay, pop y'all back in this one here. People who do these like flawless like things, like they're flawless like transitions, I'm like, housewife. Okay, so here we have this, right? So I do have my actually, let's put you guys on the floor. I feel like that'll be a better look. Okay, let's see. So as you can see here, where it hits on my feet, or rather on my legs, right? Full floor length, right? And boom. Boom. But it feels incredible. This fabric feels so good on my skin. Oh, now I'm like, maybe I do need to make that bronze one out of this. I think I might maybe hack my original, my first pattern, the Kali, into like hacking it into a jumpsuit with that. So yes, April, listen, one thing about me, we're gonna get some a couple of little shortcuts here, okay? Yes, April said, but you pay for other stuff. Facts. Feature performance, okay. Come on, April, make the pants version, girl. Brittany, you do. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, April. Thank you, Dee. Yeah, listen. What I'm going to say is that I designed this pattern. And so here's the thing, right? This pattern made it to a Beyonce concert. Now, if you all know Naomi, she was one of my testers. She did the pre-test version. Now, Naomi went to go see Beyonce, while she was here in Atlanta. And she did go ahead. She made her little jumpsuit out of like some kind of sequin sparkly situation. And she looked fantastic. Here's what I love about this jumpsuit is that because it calls for a four-way stretch, excuse me, and because it has a self-lined shelf bra, it gives you the opportunity to really be able to do multiple things with it, right? So this is very casual. This is exactly, so it's not sweatpants fabric. This is, think about it almost like a combination between like a ponte knit as far as the way that it stretches, in addition, and like mixed with almost like it has the softness of a double brush polyester, but it has the breathability of a cotton, if that makes sense. And it has really great recovery. Like the recovery on this is fantastic, which is why it is a performance fabric, right? But it's so soft, so soft. Like Yes, you can live in it for your workout attire, but you could also just like make your bodycon dresses out of it, make a t-shirt out of it, you know, make a skirt or make some pants or make a jumpsuit out of it. It's very versatile fabric. Um, but you can do this out of your more casual fabrics like this Peach Performance, right? But if you have like a Lycra that is a four-way stretch, like I've got some of these over here, like this almost feels like it's a, like this is a nylon blend and it has so much drape to it, right? So this one's going to cling a little bit more to your skin. But I've also made them out of French terry, where I feel like I'm literally walking around in pajamas, but because the French terry has such great design, I look like I'm dressed up, right? So depending upon what your fabric choices will be depend upon what this jumpsuit like or how this plays in your life. This is something that you can layer on top of, right? So if you're like, hey, I would like to put something underneath it, you don't even necessarily have to add the banding or the elastic to make the shelf raw. You can just let it lay and let it be a facing, right? You can top stitch and let it be a facing. And then you can layer it. And now you've got something that is appropriate for work, especially if you put on like a long sleeve bodysuit underneath it or a blazer on top. So I feel like the versatility of this pattern is something that really lends to being it necessary in your closet as well as in your pattern like repository. One of the things that I plan on making for my daughters is doing this in their uniform colors, so they can put their polos underneath it, and then they actually have on their like little jumpsuits, and so they're school appropriate and they're super comfortable. So yes, Dee, this is one of my patterns, and I designed it through Made for Mermaids. All right, friends, this is like, it's a wrap. We finished. We're finished now. Next week, I will likely be back on the Clock app. However, make sure that you have gone ahead and subscribed to my YouTube channel so that you'll be notified of whenever it is that I do go live. You also have the opportunity to turn on notifications for when I schedule out the specific live so that you'll be told when it is time for us to go live. I am working on creating more content, so you definitely want to make sure you turn on the little bell so that you get those reminders. Okay, friends? And also because I am trying to grow on YouTube, so definitely not only tune in yourself, but I would appreciate it so much if you shared this along with the tune in as well as subscribe to her channel, because she's my favorite YouTuber, like up and coming YouTuber, not like official YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? I'm up and coming. Your girl is trying to make things pop. I'm trying to make it happen. So yeah, I'm getting my pattern today. I had problems trying to purchase it yesterday. Tamara, if you're still having problems, just shoot me a message either on like Instagram, Facebook, or on TikTok, and I will be able to help you out however I can. So yeah, I will be making, I've got 2 more makes. Let's see. Let's see what's on the calendar. Because your girl added it to the calendar. I also put it in my notes section. Let's see. Next week, I will be making the Estella by Paper Cut Patterns. This is a new to me pattern, so I'll be making it for the very first time. And then I will also be making the Sunrise Skirt. That is by Jessie Lou's Closet. And she's such a kind person, but I also really like her aesthetic. And skirts, yes, okay. April, I love you! We do go together real bad, yes. And then the week after that, so my goal essentially is to kind of like make an outfit for the week, right? So if we're sewing along together at the end of the week, you would have made an outfit with me. So next week, I said we've got the Estella top from Paper Cut Patterns in addition to the Sunrise Skirt. Those 2 things can absolutely be worn together. The following week, we're going to be doing the Malibu shirt that is by my girl, Lindsay with Stay Stitch Patterns. She's also a Know Me designer. And then we'll also be doing the Cocoa Bias skirt that's also by her. The Cocoa Bias skirt is such an easy thing. We will not be able to finish it on live. Well, we'll get to everything but the hem, because with a bias skirt, you've got to let that baby hang before you go ahead and hem it, okay? So those are my upcoming so-longs that will take us through the remainder of the month. And I really hope I see you all on the channels. We'll be going live on YouTube, Instagram, as well as TikTok, okay? And then there is another sew-along for this here pattern on Facebook with BSN. So make sure you guys are tuning in there if you're like, okay, I saw her sew it and now I'm ready to sew it like on live. I think that Carmen is still looking for 2 other people to fill in some host slots. So make sure that you all sign up for that. Otherwise, I will see you on the flip side.